I've been on the streets in New York for a couple months.
Divorced and homeless, lost everything. Sorry to say, lady judge, he gave everything to my wife.
Yesterday I woke them up to wake them up from school. My son wasn't moving.
Kelly, I think it's style.
I think so too, hopefully.
Homelessness in America isn't just a social issue anymore, it's a crisis that is costing lives. Every winter, as temperatures drop below freezing, thousands of people are forced to sleep outside, on sidewalks, under bridges, or in their cars. No warm bed, no heating, no safety, and every year, people die, not from violence, not from drugs, but from the cold. Human beings are freezing to death in the richest country on Earth, a country with billionaires flying private jets, cities glowing with skyscraper lights all night, rockets being launched into space. Yet on the same streets, men, women, and even children are sleeping on concrete, wrapped in thin blankets, shivering, just trying to survive until morning. Some of these people once had jobs, some had families, some had homes. They were just like everyone else. This is the reality we don't like to face. But we need to, because ignoring it doesn't make it disappear, it only makes it worse. And before we begin, if you find value in these stories and want more people to understand what's really happening out there, please consider subscribing. We're very close to reaching our first 1,000 subscribers, and every single one of you helps us continue creating these videos. Your support genuinely motivates us. Now let's talk about how America reached a point where people are freezing to death on the streets.
I am cool. No E.
As temperatures have dipped below freezing for days, migrants continue to line up to receive shelter and services. This was the site at St. Bridget's School in the East Village. This couple from Guinea showed up yesterday to get placed in a new shelter after the 30 days were up, but the reticketing offices had closed by the time they got there.
It's my first time to this situation in my life. I never have this difficult online.
More migrants braved the cold at a city office in Brooklyn. Mutual Aid was at hand giving out coffee and hot soup as migrants waited in line for a chance to get an ID NYC card.
Entonces la única esperanza es hacer un poquito de centavos aquí, como me den el papel por un mes, por 3 meses, que Dios sea lo que sea, y en ese tiempo Dios me va a bendecir con un buen trabajo.
This woman from Honduras says she's 61 and is hoping to make some money. She says she's willing to do whatever, including sweeping the streets. But there is a misconception that an ID NYC card will automatically lead to a job. Migrants still need to be granted federal work authorization, which itself can be a long legal process. Immigrant advocates worry that misinformation, coupled with desperation, is unnecessarily causing migrants to put their health and lives at risk in the bitter cold.
Yesterday I woke them up to wake them up from school. My son wasn't moving. And I kept saying, Freddie, please get up. Please. Please, for me, just get up. Don't do this to me. And I tried to give him CPR because I'm a senior and a medical assistant. I've been working there since I was 17. I tried to give him CPR and I was just giving him CPR. I just kept saying, Freddie, don't leave me. Don't leave me, please. I saw the green and brown stuff come out of his mouth. I instantly rushed him to the hospital. I was yelling out the window, Stop. We gotta get through traffic. My baby, he's dying. We get to the hospital. I told valet, can you go get some help? He took too long, so I got out the car to get help. They came to the car, instantly grabbed my baby on his head, get a stretch. He's not breathing. I feel like it wasn't daytime. I did everything I was supposed to do. They had everything. Everything they wanted. Only thing they didn't have was a house. But from electronics to clothes, anything they asked me for, my kids didn't even get whooped. I lost the one who made me a mother. I lost a 2-year-old. It hurt losing 2 kids in one night. You know, I don't wish this on nobody. And if you can get help, please go get help. Because I don't want nobody else to go through what I'm feeling. Just wherever you can get help from, if it's not from the city, the state, no other city or state, just go. Like, you don't have to suffer. Help. Cold blue. Everybody tried. I didn't even know my 2-year-old was dying. I was in it with my 9-year-old. And they brought her in right after they pronounced him dead. And my mama came to me, she said, Yaya. That's what we call her, but her name is Amelia. We just call her Yaya. And they said she wasn't breathing. And they pronounced her dead too. I asked everybody for help. I called out of state. I called cities I didn't know. I called cities people asked me to call. I even asked Detroit. I've been on cam list for the longest. Everybody now wants to help. After I lost 2 kids, I've been asked for help.
Most people don't wake up one day and decide to live on the streets. It's almost always a chain of events. Something breaks. And everything starts to fall apart. For many, it begins with a job loss. 1 missed paycheck becomes 2. Rent falls behind. Late fees stack up. And in America, once you're behind, it's almost impossible to catch up. A medical emergency can do the same thing. 1 hospital bill can erase years of savings. Even with insurance, treatments can cost thousands of dollars. People are forced to choose between paying rent or staying alive. Then there's the housing crisis. Rents have skyrocketed, wages have barely moved, and in many cities, you need to earn 3 or 4 times the minimum wage just to afford a basic apartment. Most people simply don't, and once someone becomes homeless, the system works against them. You need a permanent address to apply for many jobs. You need clean clothes to show up to work. You need time, transportation, and stability. But when you're homeless, every day is about survival. Finding a place to sleep, finding food, finding warmth. You don't have the luxury to get back on your feet because the ground keeps collapsing under you. This isn't about laziness. It isn't about bad choices. It's about a system that's leaving people behind. And when winter comes, that system becomes deadly.
Kelly, I think your style.
I think so too, hopefully.
You got that, hippie type
Yeah, my
wardrobe going on. I like that. That's cool.
My mom, she was, from what I heard, she was a gypsy that did, she was a red Wiccan, so she did black magic and white magic, and she made Ouija boards. My dad, he was a Native American chief, so he left the tribe to marry my mom.
Right.
So I guess it kind of made my little curse ass. I had such bad luck, such horrible with everything.
Now, what's it like being homeless?
Honestly, it's a struggle every day. You don't know if you're gonna, for me being a small female, I'm obviously a magnet towards all kinds of different types of people and shit. It's especially the weather conditions, they can be very harsh. I know that there's a lot of times that people put you down just because you are on the streets. And it's really hard, honestly. I have a lot of medical conditions and stuff. And
Are you gonna be living out here on the streets now or what?
Yeah, till I decide it's not for me. It's kind of freeing not have to pay rent and only having a P.O. box and cell phone bill as my overhead. Really, probably one of the only ways I'll be able to save money and travel and whatnot.
So what do you plan to do with all this stuff right here you have on the street corner?
Keep it.
And And is anybody heckling you for being out here on the corner with all your stuff?
Not too bad, no.
Wow, so instead of paying $4,500 for rent or $1,100 for rent, you've chosen to take your stuff out here and be on the street?
Yep.
And you think more New Yorkers and other people are going to start doing the same thing because the rent's so high here?
More than likely, yeah. I've already had probably in the past 2 weeks 5 or 10 people saying, not a bad idea. Maybe we could share real estate here. I said, public sidewalk, do what you want. And that's, kind of my attitude. Live and let live.
Homelessness in Hawaii is out of control. There's more homeless people here per capita than any other state now. I drove to all 4 islands, and there's people sleeping on the streets everywhere. On Oahu, the entire western side of the island is covered in trash and tents. What the hell? There's people living in drainage ditches in downtown Honolulu. I walked through a camp with hundreds of people who've been living in a thrown-together village for years now. On Maui, they line the waterways. And then I found another village on Maui where there are some structures that are unbelievable. What? People can't afford it here. And also drugs and booze. Hawaii's just like the mainland. What happened to America? This is not paradise, people.
All right, we got an American guy here begging outside the Migrant Hotel. And here's the Migrants. It's a pretty nice place.
I've been on the streets in New York for a couple months. Got in an argument with my adopted parents.
How are you surviving out here?
Barely.
Where'd you sleep last night?
In front of a church.
What's your future like?
I'm actually trying to save everything I got to get back on the West Coast. My best friend has a job in a restaurant for me, so.
Awesome.
Yeah, and she said I can come and stay with her until I figure my stuff out, so.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. If you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
That I was off the street and had my own place to stay. That people were all kind to each other. And that there was no war, because I really don't like violence.
New York City is the most overrated place on earth, and I can prove it. You're literally spending $4,000 to $8,000 a month on an apartment that you could touch the sides of each wall, and you're spending 45 minutes just to commute for even 3 miles. And don't even get me started on the rats in the subway. Sometimes I think they're little dogs walking around because that's how big they are. And every time you leave the apartment, you're spending about $50, right? You're going to lunch for like $20, you're getting a coffee for like $7 to $10. It's ridiculous. Oh, and when it rains, it's super depressing. So do yourself a favor, save the thousands that you're gonna spend here and move anywhere else. That'll make you so much happier. And if you guys disagree, tell me in the comments, unless you guys are afraid for a little bit of a debate.
What do you typically do for, like money and food and stuff like that?
I don't get food stamps or anything like that. I rebuild the computers that I find out on the street, and then sometimes I resell them. I sell books to book vendors out on the street, a bookstore up over here on the 80th. Sometimes I'll take some books out onto the street and sell them myself, which is where I make a lot more money than selling them to the vendors or the bookstore. I have to improvise when it comes to making money. On certain days I do go canning, and I can make $25, $30 canning, just in an afternoon.
So just in a couple hours then?
But since I've been in this neighborhood so long, I know several of the supers, and sometimes they'll put stuff aside for me.
Walter was featured in a 2013 HBO documentary about canning, which gives an excellent look at the struggle to make money this way.
Like I said, I don't get SSI or welfare or anything like that. So everything I make on my own, really. The only thing I do get is Medicaid, and that's for my minor health problems. I'm better off on my own. Anyway, I prefer it that way. And I do all right. You're not gonna find too many people around
When people hear the word homeless, they imagine someone sitting on a sidewalk holding a cardboard sign. But that image is only the surface. The reality is much harsher, much darker, much more painful. Homelessness is waking up every day with your body aching because concrete is not a bed. It's eating maybe once a day, if you're lucky. It's being constantly exhausted because you can't sleep deeply when you're outside. It's always being alert because someone could steal your things, attack you, or worse. People think homelessness is simply not having a house, but it's actually not having safety, not having privacy, not having dignity. Imagine having no place where you can just sit and relax without being told to move. Imagine having no bathroom, no shower, no way to feel human. You don't get to choose when you sleep. You don't get to choose where you sleep. You sleep where police won't kick you out and where strangers won't harm you. Sometimes that means sleeping behind dumpsters, in empty stairwells, or in a corner of a train station. And the cold makes everything worse. Your hands go numb. Your feet start to burn from frostbite. Your clothes are wet from rain or snow and there's nowhere to dry them. Once your body temperature drops, it becomes extremely hard to warm back up. You can't just tough it out. Cold kills slowly, but what hurts even more is how society treats you. People look at you like you're invisible, or worse, like you're trash, like you're something to avoid, something dirty, something disgusting. Most homeless people say the same thing. It's not the hunger that hurts the most. It's being ignored because the world stops seeing you as a person, and when someone stops being seen, they stop being saved.
Do you have any kids?
4 kids. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What are their names?
Daisy is 21. She lives in Texas, and she's going to, and her grade point average is 14.0, high grade point average, and she's an artist, and she plays the piano, and she is very smart, and she's going to college. She was going to NAU, which is Flagstaff College in Flagstaff. College has 2 L's, and she's going to work in the forest department, and she's 21, and I was pregnant with her. I was 21 years old, and on my 21st birthday, I drank some tequila. Oh yeah, even though it was fun. Anyways, and then I was with her dad for 8 months, Casey Jones Clifton, and then I had a son named Jonah Jones. He works at Arby's where the meat is, and he lives in Payson, Arizona, and he's 18 years old. And then I left him, Casey, for Larry, or Kit, aka Kit. And Decade, he's 16. Decade with his K, not a C, D-E-K-A-D-E is his name. He's 16 years old. He lives up there in Payson. And Serenity, yeah, Sunny, but she's opposite. She acts like she's 30, but she's only 13. Serenity loves bombing. And then he went to Tucson to work, and then left me here. Like, that van over there says Tucson, and I call under there, and there's 3 sharks. 1 shark like this, or 2 little sharks. Tucson. That van's not there anymore. It's gone. Very observant of my surroundings.
How was your childhood growing up? You're from Kenosha, right?
Yeah, but when I was a baby, we moved to Arizona.
Okay. How was your childhood?
Fine. We just lived at the river, like over the Salt River. I lived over there at the Salt River. Yep. I lived by Sunflower in the desert with nothing. What I play with? A dead cow. It was all blown up and it was dead. Ugh. And I got in trouble because it was disgusting. My dad's like, what's that smell? Oh, Leah playing with a dead cow. There's nothing to do out there. Okay, is that it? Oh yeah, and then we lived up on the rim, on the mountains, like where the snow is, way up on the rim, and we looked down. And then one time I hitchhiked to California, and it took me 12 hours to get there. A Mexican picked me up in a little red car, a 4-door, and then we pulled over on a dirt road. And then a lowrider dark car picked me up, and this guy had arms like this, big old muscles. And then I went pee way down, I had to walk far. And then some guy in a Mercedes, and then we stayed in a motel called the Iris. Yeah, he had a black Mercedes. I could have stole his car if I wanted to, but I didn't. It was a brand new Mercedes. Oh yeah, and the newer models of cars, you can't siphon gas because there's something blocking the hose from going in and siphon gas. If you want to steal gas out of someone's car, don't do it out of the newer models. You can't. That's it.
If anybody wants to reach you with any sort of help or donations, do you have any contact information, like an email?
Nope. I am across the church. That church way over there, the highest point, and across to the left. Usually by that 18-wheelers, the truckings. Like where Love's, that's where I hung out over there when I was going to California, at the Love's trucking stop. I guess I like hanging out by trucks.
All right.
There you go.
Thank you.
Wow. Like this. That. Like that. You gotta get the strong kind.
Little cat fell. Oh no. Damn, that's sad, bro. What's going on here? This guy got all the type. Got like birds. Pigeons. Is this normal in New York? What the hell?
Trying so hard not to crash out right now, but I fucking hate New York. I hate New York City because everything is a scam and jam here. Everything is a scam and jam here. This right here, the amount of money I pay in tickets, the amount that I have to pay. Literally, I got up to move my car. I am 2 minutes late to moving it, and guess what? Someone is waiting right there. Oh, let me give you a ticket. No, suck your mother. I can't. And the thing is that when you live in certain areas, they put these stupid city bikes everywhere. Why would you put city bikes where people have to park cars? So there's never enough parking here. And Lord forbid, if you park in front of a hydrant, they're really going to get you. You come home 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that, no park. Even at 6 p.m., there's no fucking parking. But they just want to ticket you. They want congestion prices. I can't even go to the city in peace. If I try to go to the city, I got to pay $20 now because of stupid ass congestion prices. Can't take it here. I cannot take it here anymore. I cannot, because no matter what you do here, you will never get ahead in New York. New York is a scam. Everybody thinks it's this great, wonderful place. It is nothing but angry people, because you know what? The city is robbing us every chance they get. Whether it is a parking ticket, a congestion charge, and people can say, oh, just get on the train. They're setting women on fire on the trains. Why would I get on the train, huh? Literally, you get on the train, you never know when you're going to see a homeless person winking themselves off. I don't want to get on the train, okay? I want to feel safe in my car. I work at night. I get home late. I want to feel safe in my car, okay? And then even that. You know how much my car insurance is? $300 a month, which I guess is pretty good. But do you know why it's so high? Because I live in New York, and they could steal at any time. And if you live in like a neighborhood or a zip code where they feel like it's high crime, they're gonna charge you extra. It's a scam and jam here. I cannot take it anymore. I feel like I am on the verge of the ultimate breakdown if I stay here any longer, because all the money I work hard for, it just goes towards tickets. It's just dumb shit. But there's no parking. Fucking tolls. The congestion pricing, I guess I didn't realize, and I just kept driving, and they've charged me, like, I swear they're taking $1,000 since they started. I can't even drive anymore. I just need to sit at my house and be fucking depressed because I hate it here. Like, it's stupid city.
We are taught to look at homeless people with judgment, to think they are irresponsible, lazy, broken. But the real shame is on the world that lets people suffer like this. No human being should have to freeze on a sidewalk. No one should have to dig in trash cans for food. No one should have to choose between dignity and survival. Homelessness is not a personal failure, it is a societal one. Because the truth is simple: if a country has billionaires, if a country has empty homes, if a country wastes tons of food every single day, then there is no reason for a human being to be sleeping on the ground. The problem is not a lack of resources, it's a lack of humanity. We walk past people suffering because it's uncomfortable to look at. Because if we truly saw them, we would have to accept that the system we live in is cruel, unfair, and broken. But the first step to fixing anything is seeing it. Seeing them not as homeless, but as people. People who deserve warmth, people who deserve safety, people who deserve a chance. Homelessness is not just something happening out there, it's happening in every city, every neighborhood, right in front of us. The people suffering are not strangers. They are somebody's parent, somebody's child, somebody's friend. They are human beings who deserved a fair chance and didn't get one. And the truth is, any one of us could end up in their place. Sometimes all it takes is one bad month, one job loss, one medical bill, one piece of bad luck. We don't solve this by looking away. We solve it by caring. By acknowledging that every person has worth, by remembering that dignity is something no human being should lose. And if this video helped you see things a little differently, if it reminded you to look with compassion instead of judgment, please consider subscribing. We are very close to reaching our first 1,000 subscribers. Your support is what keeps this channel alive. It motivates us to continue shining light on the realities most people ignore. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself. And if you can, take care of someone else too.